In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing of the Acer Chromebook 11. So let's get to it. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I have a lot of Chromebooks, and I've had a lot of Chromebooks since they started. I actually had the first one ever, the CR48. But this is my newest Chromebook. Now, originally I didn't intend to buy it, but Chromebooks are doing fairly well in the education market. They're nowhere near displacing Windows laptops, but Microsoft wants to make sure that it doesn't happen, so they're nipping it in the bud, or at least they're trying to nip it in the bud. You see, for laptops $250 and less, Microsoft is getting rid of their licensing fee for Windows. And that's to combat Chromebooks, because Chrome OS is free, so the manufacturers don't have to pay Google for the operating system, so they can just pass the savings on to the customer. So Chromebooks are making inroads in the education market. Microsoft doesn't want those inroads to become highways, so they've introduced products like the HP Stream 11, which is a $200 Windows laptop. So for this laptop, Microsoft is not charging the OEM, in this case HP, the original equipment manufacturer. They're not charging HP a licensing fee for Windows. So HP can pass the savings on to the customer, much like Chromebook manufacturers do. So you can have a $200 Windows laptop. So I saw this at Best Buy. Generally, this Chromebook runs $199, brand new. But since here in the United States we have a lot of Black Friday deals around Thanksgiving time, before Christmas, you can get a lot of great deals. So I got this $199 Chromebook for $179. So no complaints there, but this device retails for the same price as the HP Stream 11. So the purpose of me getting this device was to compare it to the Windows device and give you an idea of which device performs better. But before I can get into that, I actually have to unbox this, and that's what this video is all about. I'm going to unbox the Chromebook, or the Acer Chromebook 11, give you an idea of what you're dealing with this device, and then in a future video I can compare the two devices, the Chromebook versus the Windows device. So stay tuned to this channel for those videos. In fact, you can click at the link at the end of this video and get a whole host of videos on the Chromebook and the Chromebook versus the HP Stream 11. So the first thing we're going to start off with are the specs on this device. So obviously this device is running Chrome OS. The processor is an Intel Celeron N2830. The LCD is an 11.6-inch HD Acer Comfy View LCD. It has Intel HD graphics. It has 2 GB of DDR3 low voltage memory. It has a 16 GB eMMC, and that's a solid state drive, for those of you who don't know. It does not have an optical drive. It has 802.11 AC wireless. It has an Acer Crystal Eye HD webcam and a 3-cell lithium-ion battery. So the box is pretty plain, and that's a good thing. We don't need the money going into the box. We want all the money going into the device itself, because that's what we're going to use. The box, who cares? So let me grab my trusty cutter and let's get this thing open here. Break the seal on this. There we go. So here we go. We have a setup guide here, Acer Chromebook 11. And this device is white, by the way. We have information for international travelers. I don't know what that is, but it's probably just more documentation. And here's the device in a little bag there. Let's put that to the side. Let's get to the cords real quick first. We have white cords, which is actually a nice departure. A lot of times you get a white laptop and you get black cords, but in this case you have the white cords. Here's the power cord, and here's the power brick. And there's the connector right there. So let's get these cardboard pieces off of the side here. And let's get the Chromebook out of this little baggie here, which is actually pretty cool. So there we go. Here is the Acer Chromebook 11. You have your characteristic Chrome logo up here, your Acer branding. Everything is a matte white plastic First thing you'll notice here is the hinge up top, and then you see two LEDs. On the right side of the device, you'll see there's pretty much nothing except for a combo headphone microphone jack, a USB port, it looks like USB 2.0, and a Kensington lock over here. On the back of the device, you have an HDMI port, looks like your power port there, and you see the hinges back here. On the left side of the device, you have a USB 3.0 port and a full-sized SD card slot. Up front, pretty much nothing. On the bottom, you'll notice that there doesn't appear to be a user-replaceable battery. Of course, you can access the innards of this device by removing the screws. It looks like there's 16 screws, and they're Phillips head screws. But generally, this is not a user-replaceable or user-accessible device. You have your stereo speakers here on either side, and in every corner on the bottom, you have rubberized little feet. So let's just open this thing up here. Pull the little protective coating out. Now you'll notice that the keys are all black, and it's a characteristic Chrome keyboard. That means that there's a search key instead of a caps lock key, and you have a whole bunch of different option keys up top as opposed to your function keys. You have your Intel Inside branding here, you have a decent size trackpad here, and then you have a Chromebook 11 or Acer Chromebook 11 sticker on the side. It says it has long battery life, up to 3 times faster with 802.11ac, ultra thin and light, fast boot up, as with all Chromebooks, has an HDMI out, which is nice. Free apps are available, and it has 100 gigabytes of Google Drive space. Now, one thing that's interesting is that Google is offering 1 terabyte of Google Drive space to people who purchase Chromebooks between now and the end of the year. Now, I think this might be only something in the United States, but I can't be for sure. I don't know if this device is going to qualify, but I'll let you know. So that would match Microsoft's 1 terabyte offering that they're doing for their low-priced devices. So let's go to the 11.6-inch screen up here. One thing that I like right out of the gate is that it's a matte screen. Of course, you have your little rubber spacers here, so that when the lid closes, you're not going to have any scratching of the keys on the screen or anything like that. You have your webcam up here. Let's pull this little tab off of here. A little protective coating on the webcam there. You have your mic next to the webcam, and it looks like another mic here. That also might be an LED to tell you that the webcam is on, and this might be the mic. We'll see. Now let's fire up this Chromebook for the first time. I'm just going to hit the power button here, and this might not have any juice in it, so I might actually have to plug it in, as appears to be the case here. So I plugged it in, and right away it fires up. And as you notice, as all Chromebooks are, it fires up very quickly. And that's because Chrome OS is a very lightweight operating system. So it gives me my welcome message here. It says select your language, English, United States, that sounds good. Select your keyboard, US, that also sounds good. Select a network. Let me choose that, and I'll join you on the other side of that. The next step is a EULA. Of course, I'm going to accept and continue. Then it wants me to sign into my Google account. So let me do that, and I'll join you on the other side of that. So there we go. We're signed in. It's simple as that. It's a very simple process when you get a Chromebook. As long as you have a Google account, you're set up and signed in within minutes. Now, so far, my first impressions are that I like the keyboard, and I do like the touchpad so far. So the next order of business is I'm going to use this a bit for my main device. And then I'm going to pit it against the HP Stream 11, and we'll see which device performs better. Obviously, we're dealing with two different operating systems, so there are some differences right out of the gate. But again, Google is making a big play for the education market. Over 80% of Chromebooks sold are sold to the education market. So we're going to try and determine which device is better, the low-priced Windows laptop or a similarly spec'd Chromebook. So, if there's something you'd like to see in the comparison, tell me down below. Leave it in the comments down below. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. And that's going to do it for this video. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up, favorite this video, or share this video. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.